overlooking the Temple Mount. Today we're going to discuss how to live in the miraculous. That's right, living in the miraculous. If the camera's blocking anyone behind me, just please move your seat so I can see you better. It's blocking you in the way back. My friend who loves the movie Groundhog's Day said, you switch seats, sit closer to your friend. So, okay, here we go. So living in the miraculous, first and foremost, I mean, just the most simple way to live in the miraculous, most simple way to describe it, not the most simple way to do it, but it's not that hard. It is to just simply move your body, move your heart, move your mind, move your life from the world of commitment from the world of decision to the world of commitment. That enough will put you in the miraculous, because God favors committed people. So you got to just get all your decisions into the commitment mode, and then you get God's favor. Like, God just favors committed people, simply. That's where it's at. You want wind in your sails. You want what's called LSD, which stands for large siyata d'shmaya, which means siyata d'shmaya means divine assistance. You want large divine assistance in your life? Get committed to something. Commit to something. And when you commit to something, you will see that God just literally shines his light into that situation, and it just lubricates everything, and things just start to work. And you get to live in this amazing world, which is called, comes from the commitment world, which is called Olam. I'll do it in English. How do you spell Olam in English? Olam ha-Pele, which is a Kabbalistic teaching about the world, and it's what it means is wonder world. It translates so well into English, this word. It sounds even better than the Hebrew, and this is just a direct translation, literally direct, because the word pele means wonder, and you know, if someone says "Ani bepele," like they're saying I'm in wonderment, yeah. Olam pele, which is wonder, and olam, world, yeah, wonder world. Yes, ma'am.
Pele is a like pele in
Yeah, pele. So that's the Olam Pele, whereas the people who live in decision mode, I keep my colors together. I'm not OCD or anything. I just like
definitely not
dealing with I meet people who got like extra helpings of OCD. I got under helpings. Like, I need a little more like thinking about the, like, details and stuff that I would just never think of.
hire me.
Yeah. What?
I'm available for hire.
Excellent, excellent. So, yeah. By the way, there's no person who doesn't obsess about something, so no one should feel bad if they're a little OCD. I mean, everyone's OCD. I mean, it's just that some people are OCD on a scale of 1 to 20. I'm like a 1.5. And there's people who are OCD, 1 to 30, and there's people who are OCD 30 to 50. Those are the ones who suffer. And then there's people OCD 50 to 100. They need medication. So they don't suffer. So they don't suffer.
What is OCD?
The people who, when you meet someone who really suffers OCD, those are the 30 to 50s.
What does OCD stand for?
Obsessive compulsive disorder. It's a disorder that people have. Yeah, you wouldn't know about it. So anyway, but mine is extremely low. But I do obsess. Like, for example, my face. Ever since I'm a little kid, don't touch my face, man. And no, I'd rather have my face burned off. When I was a little kid, I'd have my face burned off every summer. Terrible sunburns, peel off. Another terrible sunburn, peel off. And then I was good for the summer. I mean, then it was tan enough to deal with the sun. The rest of the summer. Then let any sunscreen near my face. And my pillow's near my face, don't touch my pillow. I just had my 9-year-old jumping on my bed. I'm like, keep them dogs off my pillow, man. Don't touch your feet to my pillow.
What does the C of OCD stand for?
Compulsive. So that's doing things. Obsessive is thinking things, and compulsive is doing things that are, you can't stop doing it. Like washing hands. There are people who are obsessed about washing hands. Okay, and the other olam is called the olam Hateva. And that means the natural world. The natural world of cause and effect. And you'll notice this kind of stuff going on in your life all the time. Like, sometimes I'm riding into the old city, and it's literally like Moses and the splitting of the sea through the tour groups and stuff. And you know, I have to ride in, and it's sometimes a little late, or maybe I'm always a little late, and I'm moving in at a major pace, and you just see like I see the tour group way down there because I'm doing 35, 40 kilometers per hour. And I will see the tour group leader from way down there just say, "Okay, everyone, come with me," and they're gone. And it just keeps going like that. Where like God's like splitting the sea for me to get here on time and then of course I walk through the door and there's someone waiting, going, you know, like do you know who Rabbi Glazer is? I'm like, I'm Rabbi Glazer. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was about to leave. It's an emergency. And so you see, like someone was committed to something. And they had to leave, and they had to speak to me because of some other crisis, and so their commitment just started getting. I'm just noticing the sea splitting. I'm just on my way in, and then there will be other days where I come, and it's literally like, you know, like a tour group of 50 kids, and I'm coming down, and I see there's a group on the sidewalk, and I'll just see the tour guide go like, "Okay, come on, everybody," and I'm just like. And I'm like, "Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me," for the next 3 minutes. Stuck with a 50 bus, you know, birthright group in front of me, all of which are like spaced out beyond belief. Like, it's amazing. I have watched, by the way, I just want to mention instincts. I have watched people lose their instincts over the last period of time with the smartphone era. I've watched people lose their instincts, period. Now, obviously, someone with a headset, their instincts are cut in half. I'll have people with, by the way, there are still people with great instincts. I've noticed low-tech people, like we've had African groups here, or just African individuals who are, you know, Africans are known for having killer instincts. And I will be just turning a corner in the old city on my bike. I'm at a high clip, but turning a corner, I see way down there is an African man. Most of our tourism is Africa. From, you know, if you see someone who is African, they're not African Americans here, they're actual Africans. I'll just, every time, the guy just goes like this. He feels me coming, and I'm like 100 yards away. He feels me coming. Now, once upon a time, other people felt that. And here's another amazing thing. Anyone who's scared to be in the old city has horrible instincts. Horrible, and you meet people who are scared to be in the old city, and their instincts are horrendous. They're horrendous, which is really crazy because if you're scared, you need your instincts. I think that's partially what scares us about fear, is that we're afraid we won't have the instincts because we're so darn afraid. And you know, in today's day, you know, you need good instincts when things are scary. But people really lose their instincts. So I can tell someone's scared to be in the old city a mile away because they'll see me coming more or less in their periphery. And when I start getting closer to, you know, some lady, she'll go like, ah! And it's like, I know you saw me. And I also slow down amply for her because she doesn't know my control. So I don't want her to scare people. But she's just got to do that anyway because like her instincts are so shot that she turned this into an emergency. Literally. They'll turn it into, men will do it too, more women, but they'll turn it into an emergency. I have this whole like class on the psychology of people dealing with oncoming mountain bikers in the old city of Jerusalem, which have pretty narrow streets. And anyway, but headsets, forget about it. Your instincts are history. People looking down at their phone, I've had to learn about them. They generally go which way their head's angled. So like if they're kind of going like that, I'm going that way. If they're going like that, I'm going that way. But it doesn't always work. It doesn't always work. It could be, I have to notice that, where are their friends? And I have to determine, are these really their friends? Because if these people are really their friends, even though he's leaning this way, he's probably going towards his friends. And I'm like playing this psycho thriller every single day. But the thing I've noticed since the advent of smartphones is the instincts have been going down and down.
How many people
and
have you
down.
allowed?
Have I plowed in my 28 years of doing this? It's been 25 years actually.
Because I've been clocked a couple times.
By me?
No.
I've only plowed probably, I don't know, in all the years, not more than 10, 15 years. Every single day. You know, that's not bad for all these years. And no one's been hurt. One guy was hurt. One guy was hurt. No, but that was 100% his fault.
I've had a couple people wipe out avoiding me.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. It was a guy on a bike. He himself was on a bike, and he was zigzagging because he had bags on his handlebars that he wasn't able to handle. But there was no way for me to know that. And so he just zigzagged right into me. And you know, I saw, he didn't see, so I shouldered in, so it's not both of us going down, because I would have gone down. So I just kind of shouldered in a little bit to make sure at least there was only one of us going down. That was him. I stopped, I apologize. I've knocked a million smartphones out of people's hands. Yeah. You know, people are just like, you know, and I'm judging this thing, you know, I'm just like, bam! You know, that thing just goes like, you know, smartphone just goes flying through the air, and I stopped, by the way. He's the one who went like that, you know, but I stopped. I hand them back their smartphone. And it happened recently on Jaffa Street, where I knocked this guy's smartphone about 20 yards, and I came to him, he's like, he gets back on the phone, he's like, oh my gosh, Rabbi Glazer just knocked my smartphone out of me.
That is so cool.
He was so excited that it was me that knocked his smartphone out of him. He had no idea. I mean, only when I came to him, he realized who knocked his smartphone out of him. I was, by the way, extremely happy that it was, you know, someone who knew who I was. Anyway, the natural world is, you see all this on the camera, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah, so the natural world is the cause and effect world, and that's the world that you probably live in unless you're living in the miraculous. And why am I mentioning that? I'm not cursing anybody. Like, I bless you to live in the world of the wonder world, and I do not bless you to have to live in the natural world. But the reason I'm mentioning that most people probably are living in the natural world is because you, after enough years of it, start to believe that it's normal. You understand? Like, the majority of people I'm going to talk to are going to think that things work naturally. You know, if you come that late for a plane, you don't get on that plane. You know, you're not on the plane. But then there are the people who are just like, don't tell me the odds. And they just stay totally committed to getting on that flight, even though, you know, everything went wrong on the way to the airport. And there's just no way. The flight should be closed. But with that kind of laser beam determination, where I'm so committed, I'm on the flight. And then you'll see that person on the flight, even if it takes the lady behind the counter to say, you know what, come with me. And you ever seen that? You ever seen in an airport someone like being ushered through by a staff member who this is not their job, but they're just like, come around all these people, come around all these people. You still have to go through security. And you can thank Bin Laden for that. And you're still going through security, but come around all these people and get your medal out of your pockets and let's go. You know, and they will get you on that flight. So you will get the Siyata Deshmaya, which is, again, the wonder world, which is in Hebrew is called large Siyata. We'll put it like that. Large Siyata Deshmaya. Large Siyata Deshmaya, which means that you will have, you know, you just don't tell me the odds, because the stats don't matter to me. And you're just going to make it happen, and you make it happen. And you know, there's videos online, a million videos online on like living in this kind of realm. But I want you to know that this is a Torah thing, and I want to teach you how to do it.
What is the source?
For living in Olam HaPela. Oh gosh, it's in Tanakh. I can't even remember where it was. It's in Navi, where the Malbim goes into great detail on this subject of the two. I learned it inside like 20 years ago. I can't remember where. I don't remember what Navi I was learning at the time. But I remember doing a whole, how to say iyun in English?
Yeah,
an in-depth study of it in the, I think it was in the Malbing